Okay, a while back I made a video on how to adjust these front and rear chains using the adjusters down here. I didn't make one on adjusting this top chain on the AutoGrab front suspension. Now there's several different parts of this. It's a little different from the normal chain adjustment. At the bottom here you got this collar with a couple of Allen bolts holding it together. Below that there's kind of is the actual adjuster. And it looks like a circle with a couple of sides flattened off. And that adjuster has a sleeve that runs up inside the fork. This threaded rod here is what the adjuster runs on, and as you can see, it's attached to the pivot point of the Earl's type suspension. This is also where your double sprockets for the chains go. Now this is a 2008 model, and in 2012 they made around there, they made a slight change in here. In this model I have to take this sleeve off, or this collar off. In 2012, or about there, the change was that you just had to loosen it up. I'll show you what the difference is. Now sometimes these collars will be stuck on there. That's just normal. Don't worry about it. Just take yourself a block of wood or a mallet, give it a wrap, and they usually cooperate and come off. Now you can see there's a pin through here in the outside collar. It goes through a hole in the fork and through the inner sleeve. It locks everything together. In the new model, there's a groove in that inner sleeve. It goes all the way around it. So you don't have to take these off, just loosen them up and then do your adjustment. The other thing you're going to notice is these collars got a groove cut around one side of them, the other side's probably flat. And being old school, when you put them back together, you want to make sure that the groove side and the flat side are put together. Keep the grooves on one side and flat on the other side. And working out here in the parking lot, you want to make sure that you put your Allen bolts back in so you don't lose anything. Now to tighten this up, you just take a wrench, put it on the adjuster, and turn it counterclockwise. Okay, once you got it adjusted, here's what you want to look for. You don't want this the top chain here being too tight. Now the bottom chain, 3/8 of an inch or so, that's fine on the slack, but not on the top chain. I made a video a while back on AutoGrab chains working. What happens is, as this front wheel is going up and down, This forward chain is causing the sprockets to rotate. It's putting pressure on them. That's causing this up chain to tension and go slack. So if you got this too tight, when it tensions up, a pretty good chance it's going to snap, particularly if you hit a big bump at speed. So keep it slightly slack. That's about a ½ inch. And that's just about perfect. And only experience can tell you how exactly much on your bike it's going to be. And since new chains tend to stretch, you're going to be doing it fairly often if you got a newer bike. But this is a 5 years old. Okay, once you got your chain adjusted, sometimes this inner sleeve will work its way down while you're adjusting it. And there's two ways of taking care of that. Some guys take a ratcheting tie-down strap, run it around the handlebars and down around here and pull it up and hold it there. But I just take me a block of wood, my hammer, put it underneath there, give her a few raps, and up she goes. It's time to put everything back together. Sometimes you got some crud around the fork where the collar goes. Wipe that off. Make sure both sides of the collars are the same. Put them back in. If that pin doesn't slide in with nothing but hand pressure, don't try to wrap it in or nothing. You can snap it real easy. Move the adjuster around and give it a wrap up or whatever you have to do to get it back on. Now at this point, I like to take a little blue Loctite, put it on the thread. Same with the other one. Now screw them back together. Now when you're screwing them back together, go from one side to the other. Make sure both are evenly in. Don't crank down on one and then crank down on the other. Now that's that. Now some of us have made a slight modification to this. That pinhole goes through the fork and the inner sleeve. They've only got two of them on the original old model bikes. One on the inside here and one on the outside and one on the inside on the inner sleeve. And that gives you a very coarse adjustment. So sometimes you have to take out a link or put in a half link or whatever, you know, to get it just right. But some of us have rotated them around and put two extra holes in there. Not in the fork, in the inner sleeve. You just turn the adjuster around so you got a hole at the 6, 3, or 6, 9, 12, and 3 o'clock positions. In short, on each quarter of the inner sleeve. And that makes it a little finer adjustment. Once you got it all on, ready to throw some more lube on the chains and get the trail if it ever stops drizzling.